What's going on, everybody? So this is going to be a recap for the final Week 5 game, NFL Monday Night Football. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers. Cam Newton didn't play, obviously, all kinds of protocol for concussions or whatever he's doing, but Derek Anderson came out and was completely horrible, but we're going to get to that in a second. Jameis Winston, I don't know what exactly was going on. He didn't make a lot of throws that were good. This game was actually very, very horrible when you think about what was going on for the entire game. Definitely not something that a person that doesn't love football would have been watching. You understand? This is not like for a fair weather fan. This game was horrible overall. Very, very sloppy. Jameis Winston often tried to force it into double coverage. I don't know exactly what's happening with this young man. He has such a great arm. I think he's going to grow to be a better quarterback, but the people have to remember the Carolina Panthers still have decent defense. I just think right now that they suck with or without Cam Newton, because what's happening is they lost in the Super Bowl, and usually the loser of the Super Bowl doesn't make the playoffs the next year, or they have like a really bad record or whatever like that. I was reading some statistics about it. I brought it up in previous podcasts, and a lot of people didn't think that can happen to the Panthers because they have such a stout defense. Cam Newton has such a great year, blah, 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 blah. I told you guys before the season started, I didn't really think the Panthers were going to be the same thing. I think the Panthers last year came out of nowhere. Nobody expected it. Cam Newton played at a level that I don't know if he's going to be able to return to right now, because I think mentally the pressures of a lot of the things that he's been saying, regarding race issues and all the things that have been going on in the the USA, I think that's having taking a toll on him. I don't think that he's the kind of guy that likes to talk about those type of issues, and he's making comments and stuff like that where people are attacking him in various areas. I'm not saying that the guy has soft skin. I'm just saying that I don't think he's been playing well enough since that point, since they asked him certain things about what's been happening on with some of the killings in the South and things like that. But getting back to Derek Anderson, this guy is terrible. This guy threw a red zone into that it was like 3 Buccaneers right there, bro. After Olsen was playing unbelievable, over 180 yards receiving. This guy, who was he trying to force it? Who was he trying to force it into? I don't remember who was the receiver there. I forgot who was there. But even before that, he fumbled the ball trying to go for a first down, and it even looked like the guy really did anything. Like, look, if you're running for a first down and you're a quarterback that's like, frail like this guy, bruh, you tuck the ball. This guy just turned. He tried to do a spin move like he's a goddamn top. Drops the ball, comes right back, throws a crazy throw. Like, even John Gruden was like, what? He's like, I cannot believe he threw that ball. But he was saying the same thing about both he and Jameis Winston. I didn't really enjoy this game overall. Like I said, I watched it, and I was just trying to figure out exactly what was happening. But Aguayo, is that how you say his name? The kicker, the 19-year-old second rounder? That guy, he just outright sucks, bro. Listen, this guy, I know he made the game winner to make them win at 17-14. We're going to get back to him in a second, but that's something that ever since the NFL moved the extra point back, and, a lot of these kickers have a lot of pressure on them, it's been a different NFL. That's the one thing out of everything that Roger Goodell has done since he's been there that I give the NFL credit for, because it makes the game so much more competitive. Everything else that he's done, bounty gate, spy gate, whatever he's doing, all this kind of dumb shit. He's suspending players for no reason. This too personal foul stuff, and you get ejected. Everything else that he's done, it's all about his pockets. I don't really care about anything. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that. I'm for the players. So I know there's a lot of players that they rely weekly on that money, and they weren't able to hold out long enough for the agreement, the players' agreement. But this is not something that is acceptable when you have a league of grown men and you don't want them to show emotions to a certain point. And I'm speaking about celebrations that are tasteful, not stuff that Chad Ochocinco used to do where he had the whole place in there and they try to do a whole band marching thing. I'm not talking about that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it to be something where it's like really, really crazy and guys are all together and they're doing a whole dance. I understand that, but stupid little celebrations afterwards, they get things for that. Guys are wagging the finger, which all corners used to do. It's a mental edge. I don't think Michael Jordan would have been able to play without using his mental edge in the NBA. That was one of his biggest traits. And if they correlated that to the NBA, where it's just, oh no, whistle, no, you can't do that. That changes the game for really, really great athletes. No matter what athlete that you want to talk about, that mental edge is what it's all about. So, I just wanted to bring that up to make sure you guys understand the way I feel about that. It's very, very difficult for these guys to play like that. But getting back to Roger Goodell and, you know, helping to make sure that the kick, you know, they voted to move the kickback, that was great. But guys like Aguayo, or however you say his name, bro, this guy, I don't know. Yo, listen, they can't cut him right now, you know, based on all the, you know, the technicalities of signing him second rounder, all that stuff like that. But what I'm thinking to myself is this: why, if you're the Buccaneers, would you take a kicker in the second round anyway? You know, I was really trying to scratch my head. Maybe you guys that know more about the Buccaneers can tell me why that would happen. But I'm really thinking that they could have got him later, or he probably would have went undrafted. I know he was pretty high coming out of college, all that kind of crap. I understand that. But what I'm saying is it's a kicker, though. And I know the kicking game is very, very prevalent in the league, but there's a lot of other veterans that you could have signed. You know, proof is in the pudding. You know, Vinatieri is still nailing them from 50 yards. He's like 1,000 years old. So there's guys out there that can make the kick still, that are efficient kickers. Why would you go and do that and sign a kicker that you can't cut, and you bring him into an NFL where the pressure is enormous and everything is on your shoulders at all the time? That doesn't make any sense. But, you know, looking at the whole entire game, it was total garbage. But I got to see that defensively, the Panthers are not what they were last year. Overall, as a team, they're not what they were last year. They're 1-4 right now. They suck. They look disgusting. And I said it before, with or without Cam. They looked horrible with Cam. They look horrible without. Listen, I'm not saying that I don't still want to see them do well. What I'm saying is I can't sugarcoat what I'm feeling while I'm watching the game when I come and give you guys the podcast. Listen, you guys can go back to any podcast that I've ever done. I don't never get on this microphone and tell you guys BS. You know, you guys can be mad at me, you can argue with me, or we could talk like men, or we could talk like, you know, men and females. You know what I'm saying? I engage in conversation with a lot of females as well, and I appreciate all the female viewers. And I'm going to tell you this right now. We can always, at the end of the day, agree to disagree, but I'm going to state actual fact. And I know that you guys love your teams and stuff like that, but you have to be able to be honest about how they're playing in order for them to get better. That's why they cut everybody last week. It's cutting cornerbacks after Julio Jones went crazy. The team is playing like garbage. And I told you guys, it'll be almost impossible for the team the way it is right now to go back to the Super Bowl pending the offensive side of the ball. Because Kelvin Benjamin is a big target, but the chemistry that they had without him, in my opinion, was better. Because now you had Olsen, who was a regular major target, and you had fast guys around the sides that are ready to do stuff. Now you got two main targets, and now Cam has to make a decision every play. Yo, who am I going with? You know, in my opinion, like Greg Olsen is a stud. You know what I'm saying? The man has 8 like ridiculous 100-yard games. I think Gronkowski only has 9, and that's like a major league Pro Bowler right there. So when you look at it from that aspect, Olsen is a target that you can't really shy away from. Last week. I don't know how many yards he had before Cam Newton got hurt or whatever like that. But this week, even with a bum like Derek Anderson, who's just throwing picks and doing whatever he want to do, fumbling the ball, he was still able to get over 180 yards passing, receiving. I'm saying everything. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But that just goes to show you that he's a stud. Because the guys that still show out regardless, they're guys that are going to be great. I think Olsen is a key target that they have to really, really pay attention to and make sure he gets involved in the games. But at the end of the day, Aguayo, this guy right here, is a total joke, okay? He's a total joke. This man sucks. And if you have a kicker like that even the head coach is saying, you know, I didn't feel comfortable, all this kind of stuff like that, I know you can't cut him without a hefty, you know, it's going to be a hefty penalty, whatever kind of contract that this man has. He is horrible, and he will continue to disappoint. So I just want to make it very, very clear that watching this game was a joke. I didn't enjoy it at all. It was horrible on both sides. And the Bucks, they you know, like I said, the only thing that really saved them from this is the fact that the defense, you know, a lot of penalties, things like that were going on, and they just dropped picks. Because Jameis Winston will throw you the pick, bro. He will throw you the ball. And it was like I said, man, overall, it wasn't an exciting game. So it was something that I just had to sit through to be able to watch and go, all right, let me go and let the people know exactly what happened in the game. Other than that, I really, really didn't enjoy the game at all. I really hope that Jameis Winston starts to play better, make better decisions. Mike Evans is a stud. Only thing that they got to figure out is what they're going to do about their kicking situation. If it's me, I'm going for it every time, and I'm going for 2. And then I'm going to see what I can do about his contract and just get rid of him. Or just pay him outright, let him go away, bro. This guy, Aguayo, is total trash. hope you guys are enjoying the podcast. Definitely download it on iTunes, Android, iHeartRadio, and watch here on YouTube. One love.